Hey guys, it is Wednesday, as most of y'all don't know. Well, y'all don't know. I am off on Tuesdays, and as a matter of fact, just a word of warning, since we're gonna start today. If I'm a little incoherent in this particular video, keep in mind that I've only got about 3 hours of sleep. I came in early today because on some days you have to come in early. This was one of those days. We had a particularly difficult setup, especially when there's only two guys and one of them is me. So I came in early, which means I had to get up early, which means I should have gone to sleep early. Except I didn't. I didn't go to sleep early because I can't. I don't know. So, just word of warning, if I sound like I'm rambling and nothing seems to make sense, y'all know why. Oddly enough, my brain seems to function decently without sleep. I can take orders, I can do precision work, I can drive. It's not a problem. But thinking and doing more than one thing at a time, that's where I have a little bit of difficulty. So this should be interesting. It's hot today. It's early. I'm going home early, so that's kind of cool. That's kind of neat. What I wanted to talk to you about was a few things. Yesterday, while I was cleaning up, I found this old CD, the soundtrack from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And if you haven't seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, where the heck have you been? But I understand, new generation, maybe they don't know what that is. Definitely, maybe they don't know what that is because cowboy movies just aren't the big deal they once were. To this day, I haven't seen an actor as good as some of those old school actors from those spaghetti westerns. You can make the argument that American cowboy movies were just as good, but I don't know. In my mind, in my heart, it'll always be Sergio Leone and his trilogies. And I know there was a couple other directors too who did some good ones. Don't come to me with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I try to watch that. I'm not gonna be biased and said that. Just say the movie sucks. No, that's not me. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that it put me to sleep. After maybe half hour, I was out, and then I remember getting up and the movie was over, and I was like, damn, that was fast. So no. And then movies like Hondo or Rio Bravo with that guy John Wayne, that's his name. They're slow. I will say this though, I saw The Alamo with John Wayne, where he's supposed to be Crockett, and it's the funniest Crockett I've ever seen. And that was really good. I dig that. It was slow and long, because I think it was 3 hours long, but about good pace. And he died in that, so that was kind of cool, because John Wayne was kind of the big action hero, so I didn't think they were gonna actually do that. I know he was Crockett, and Crockett does die, but I thought they were gonna change that up or something. Anyway, in my mind, it'll always be the spaghetti westerns, as those are the best. So I found this disc, and I remember thinking that I watched those movies fairly late in my life. They weren't it wasn't like me as a kid watching them and then my old man telling me. Nah, actually it was kind of older maybe like 13, 14 years old. Maybe older than that, man. I could have been 15 or 16. But I was older already. You know. But having said that, like the first one that I watched that I really dig, I didn't see them in order, even though there's no real order to the stories. They're different stories. But the first one that I saw, which I like really enjoyed, was For a Few Dollars More. And that one was really good because it was like about bounty hunters and about Lee Van Cleef trying to get like revenge for his sister, I think it was, that she had been killed by this like bad guy, and he had like a gang. So he teams up with this other like bounty hunter who has no name. They call him Monko, I think, in that movie. I think in For a Few Dollars More they call him Monko because I think he does everything with his left hand. He only uses his right hand for shooting or something, which as an impressionable teenager I thought that was really cool. But Clint Eastwood is Monko, and Lee Van Cleef is the man in black. I don't remember if he has a name in that one, but they do team up. Like they start as rivals, and then there's like this insane like shooting sequence, like where they're trying to like shoot hats and stuff. Those spaghetti westerns, if they had one thing, is that they were like really stylish, you know, like the close-up shots of the cameras and the way they would talk, the little music, and that's the point that I wanted to get to. I didn't just want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the Dollars trilogy in general. I wanted to talk about the music in movies, because I feel that it's something that's overlooked by like a lot of people. A lot of people sometimes focus on the action and they focus on like the characters. But I feel that the music is just as important. It sets the tone because it will tell you like whether you should be scared or you should be happy. And the music for the Dollars trilogy was just excellent. Like For a Few Dollars More, it has this like little whistling noise, very old school. And obviously the soundtrack for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, that's just downright legendary, you know. Everybody has heard of it. Maybe they don't know it, but they've heard of it and they don't even know where it comes from. So music is a big deal. And in my family, as you guys probably have already been able to tell, we're a bit of a like movie files. Like that's our hobby, you know. Some people, they do picnics, other people work on cars. My old man just likes to watch movies a lot. It's a hobby he instilled on his kids. And one of the things that he was always paying attention to, or is paying attention to, he ain't dead. I'm just talking past tense because, you know, my brain's not coherent. He's still very much alive and kicking. So one of the things that we pay attention to is music. And you can tell what kind of music a particular movie's going to have depending on who the composer is. Those big and grand battle sequences in some of the more popular movies, most of those, if you don't know by now, but most of those come from one guy. And then the movies with the soft and tender moments, that's also another guy. And obviously the famous themes like Superman, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, that's all one guy. That's a fellow named John Williams. And it's interesting to see him because he does this thing where he has like this whole orchestra and they're playing like those themes. So music is a big deal. in the background, and I've always wanted like background music, like in my life. It's a shame that we don't have anything like that, like in real life, because it sets the tone. It indirectly tells you how to feel, whether you should be scared, tense, happy, sad. There are other emotions, but I can only come up with those like right now. And I remember as a kid watching those movies and learning about anti-heroes and cowboys and stuff like that. Well, I wasn't so much a kid, but maybe I still felt like it. But I remember like it left this like deep impression, like inside of me. So what I wanted to do, maybe when I finally get my hands on that GoPro I keep talking about, is like have background music playing in my videos too, because there's like lots of topics that I want to talk about, but I feel that the memories and the words will come better if I have music playing in the background, perhaps from that particular movie or show. So that's something that I want to include in my future videos. I can't do it right now because I'm recording from my phone, and for some reason I can't have something playing in the background and record. That is something I didn't know that I couldn't do. It's something I discovered just recently. But whatever, you know, it's all good. So, well, I guess I'm home. What I wanted to say to you today was, pay attention to the music playing in the background. We're definitely going to talk about that subject like in more detail, because I feel like there's so much to say about music in the background music in movies that, one video probably won't be able to discuss it. And it's not just movies, it's TV shows too. Even cartoons do that, and I think that they do that really well, especially those that take pride in their craft. So pay attention to the music, and yeah, man, I'm gonna talk about those Dollars movies again at some point, because they were like a big deal, especially with the whole anti-hero thing, because I discovered that late in my life too. Probably I already knew like what it was, but I hadn't been able to like pin it down and say, oh, that's what that was. I hadn't been able to do that until like those Dollars movies. And then John Carpenter had a lot of anti-heroes that I was like really fond of, that I feel have influenced perhaps my life and my way of thinking to a certain point. So we'll definitely talk about that. So a few things. Tomorrow I'm gonna do my best to have both videos up. Yesterday I was really busy trying to finish up that one thing, which I finally got that done. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I already got home. See you, kids.